Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Icon back in the house. Just wanted to put up a quick video, myself and ESP just going over the WWE Super Showdown that came on Saturday night at 5 a.m. in the morning. So you said, what do you give the show?
I give it like a high down the middle. I give it like a high middle for certain reasons. The tag team Smackdown was good. I mean, you pretty much expected.
Yeah, that stuff's always good.
Well, the fight after that, what was it? That was I think it was a women's fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, my overall impression of the show, not to cut you off, it was, did you notice that the show seemed like it was basically a Raw show and they just invited Smackdown?
It was just another,
like, the first, with the exception of the Bobby Lashley match, the first half of the show were all the Smackdown fights.
They was getting Smackdown out the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This is another pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was like a Raw.
Like, this was another pay-per-view where Smackdown clearly has a lot more going on.
Yeah, they have the better storylines.
And they even have the prestigious title, but yet they continually treated like Smackdown is carrying like the world title. You
know, and plus like none of the Raw championships were defended. Like,
no.
Every Smackdown championship was defended outside of Nakamura, because he doesn't defend the title.
Like, they definitely need to bring up someone. I mean,
that's where you're wrong. That's exactly where you're wrong. They don't need to bring up anybody to fight Nakamura. They have 5 guys sitting in catering that are more than capable of fighting Nakamura.
Yeah, that's what I mean about bring up. Like they need to try to hype up more guys that are already there, and they're sort of doing that with Ty Dillinger. It's just like we are finally seeing him, and then there's Shelton Benjamin, but he's in the heel class. You know what I mean?
But still, they can turn him face just to fight Nakamura. You know, they can use Benjamin, they can use Ty Dillinger. Hell, they can use Rusev. Like, why can't Rusev fight him?
Because apparently Rusev is good enough to go for belts, but
he's not good enough.
When he gets that shot, then just like
he's too busy worried about what happened in Milwaukee. But yeah, the SmackDown match was good. I mean, it was Woods and Kofi. So.
Yeah, like, and to be honest, usually when New Day chooses to like mix up the teams, if Woods is normally in the mix, it's usually like a half and half loss for them.
Yeah. Well, that's why I thought there was maybe a chance they would lose, because they used Xavier Woods. But and the match was pretty quick too. Like a lot, like the pay-per-view itself, like it flowed like really quickly. It was just like the match ended. We'll give you a quick commercial to plug the network, and then it's right into the next match. I mean, there's nothing to talk about with the Charlotte-Becky match. I mean, Becky did the cowardly heel thing. She kept the belt.
And that's something that I want to touch on, because
they're gonna fight on Tuesday.
Because ever since that Becky quote turned heel, we expected the whole heel run, but all the fans ain't trying to hear that. They're still gonna cheer her. When I was watching a bunch of other sources online, that they were saying it's like they try to paint it up like Becky Lynch is suddenly a tweener.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, they may at some point they may like do a double turn with them.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be
other talk.
But it's gonna be a slow build.
I'm not too upset with Becky keeping the belt. I'm just a little bit.
Well, you know she wasn't gonna lose it.
Well, I was just under the impression that Becky was going to be like the quote-unquote like tweener type, but still like a fighting champion. Now, I mean, because if you're still trying to like prove yourself to all the women, I would expect you to, you know, shut her up and like try to shut her up and then just beat her, not just run away. So that threw me off a bit. But if they could just try to wrap this up on SmackDown and maybe give Becky like a better challenge.
Well, yeah, this thing is over
in the Evolution, like maybe with like Asuka.
Yeah, because this whole thing with her and Charlotte's over. You know, and it's sad, because remember when like Charlotte was the king of the world and she was on top of the mountain? Ever since Ronda Rousey came aboard, Charlotte's never going to main event anything again. You know, like the Raw Women's title is always going to be put over.
Yeah, but if they got any future plans for Ronda, I don't know who they're going to, you know, bring up to go against her. You know what I mean? Like, say like the plan going forward is for Ronda to get a high-profile fight on the WrestleMania. Unfortunately, like Sasha Banks is hurt, so you can't like turn to her. They could use Bayley, but Bayley is like on a weird like middle ground. They've been dragging their feet with Ember Moon.
Yeah, Ember Moon can fight her. I mean, I would say Sasha, Ember Moon, and Nia Jax.
Yeah, and as it stands now, it's like
well, all the people.
There's been like backstage talks that with the Evolution coming up, more likely just to give that show more buzz, they'll probably just put like Ronda against Nikki because they even announced it on the Super Show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They
like
Nikki.
Half the matches that they got going on.
But Nikki has a mainstream name, so that's why they're gonna put. But it's like, but from a physical, it's like, yeah, like name wise, I guess she's mainstream enough to sell tickets, but from a fighting standpoint, you know she ain't gonna beat her.
I mean, at the impressive rate that Ronda has been going,
she needs more
be
moves.
A surprise that anyone could beat her. It's like they already gave her the moveset of like a veteran that is almost like 5 years out the door. You know what I mean? You know, as proven with like, you know, John Cena coming up, you know, just to jump ahead for a second, like Bobby Lashley clearly
it's not that much to talk about.
Was in a handicap match. Because the story on Raw has been Bobby and those two. I'm a little bit surprised that Leo didn't just show up for the hell of it. You know what I mean?
They said he wasn't there. Knowing how John Cena is, John Cena probably told Vince he didn't want Leo Rush out there. And I keep calling it the Bobby Lashley match because, you know, I mean, obviously, like Cena had the last time Cena wrestled, he got his ass beat by the Undertaker, and that was a short match. And so he's basically out of practice.
And it's weird because he came up around the same time as like Lesnar, Orton, and Batista, but yet we know kind of Lesnar's excuse, and Batista was said to come back and actually get like a little run going, but Orton is actually like still in there on the grind. Now I know he's younger than everybody, but the way that Cena is, like, even when his Jackie Chan get leaned down like training and shit, I
didn't even notice, like, I didn't even like care or pay attention to any. You know, to be honest, what I thought was gonna this is what I thought was gonna happen. And it was funny when Kevin Owens was like, I told you they should have did the Super Show in Canada. Yeah. But it was like when Cena grabbed the microphone and he was just like, you know, talking to the crowd and addressing the crowd, and Lashley was sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna spear him. Because Michael Cole kept bringing up their match in 2006.
Yeah, and I briefly saw like the full match because they put them on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, they specifically put up their fight on YouTube. I'm just like,
Yeah, so I was like, no Leo Rush. You know, Lashley, like you said, Lashley wrestled 99% of the match. John Cena did 6 moves of doom, and beat Elias. I thought.
Yeah, how do you feel about that cross-arm chop move?
It didn't even look like it just looked like he punched him in the face. It just looked like a regular punch in the face.
Because even when he was talking about that, he made it seem like it was something he learned from his time in China.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna,
and it's like a real, I guess, you know, like a big deal kind of.
Oh, that shit was just a punch. All that was like a punch to the chest.
Inspirational.
But, I mean, at this point, like the Elias thing with Lashley needs to end. Just have Lashley and Kevin Owens have their one-on-one, and then let Lashley move on. As I seen, it just came in to get paid, and then he's going back to China. The Iconics, Asuka, Naomi match. Because
I was 50-50 if they was really going to give it to the Iconics.
I mean, part of me felt. I mean, aside from the fact that both Naomi and Asuka won their one-on-one matches on SmackDown, there was a part of me that was like, okay, they'll probably it's not even so much that they're from Australia while they'll give them the win, but like the two of them, they lose all the time. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's just like it's just like at some point they have to win. You know, like they have to get like a meaningful win. But then I was just like, well, if they do win this match, they're damn sure not going to pin Asuka. And, you know, and that's exactly what happened. But was it me, or did you feel like the crowd wasn't really behind them?
Nah, they was more behind Buddy than them.
Yeah, like Buddy like Murphy got a bigger response. It was weird because it felt like
they gave them the win, but the crowd didn't appreciate it. Yeah,
it was almost like the crowd didn't want to cheer for Naomi and Asuka because they're not Australian, but because the Iconics were the heels, they didn't really want to cheer for them either. You know,
they just got paused because they kept saying that we are from here. Oh,
and and even JoJo, cool. Like JoJo meant like when JoJo announced them, she didn't even like You know, she didn't even say like, oh, from whatever, she didn't even say, oh, from such and such Australia. Like,
yeah, that's I was expecting.
Yeah, I was like, that's jacked up.
Because they was doing a lot of cutting the intro shorts for like everything.
Yeah,
it's like
not people not getting full entrances.
Yeah,
unless you're Triple H or the Undertaker. But yeah, that was weird. That was very weird to me. The sad part is that now that the Iconics got the win, like
they fly back home, they're gonna lose some more.
Yeah, as soon as they fly back home, it's back to the losers column, which is unfortunate. Of course, AJ Styles, defends the belt in the middle of the show like always. Yeah, that's when I realized I was like, wait, are they just getting all the SmackDown fights out of the way?
I'm going to assume that this will give Samoa Joe a reason to kind of not pick beef with anybody, because when AJ threw him through the table, I thought like, wow, that was an awkward-esque fall. Yeah. I guess AJ couldn't handle Joe's weight, and then Joe was just, oh, my knee, something popped. I was just like, oh shit, did he really hurt?
Well, I mean, I don't think so if you finished the match.
Yeah.
They were just trying to sell the injury.
Yeah, they didn't throw the immediate X. They didn't try to speed it along like AJ was purposely like breaking his leg up.
I mean, I would have preferred to see Styles versus Miz, but
oh really?
It's nice to see Styles and Bryan only because again, like, I mean, I do think it's unfair that AJ Styles never actually, and I said this as soon as they did the joint pay-per-view thing, I was like, Styles is going to get shitted on because he's never going to main event a pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. But I haven't really complained about the last few pay-per-views because the feuds that he was having, I was just like, I didn't care enough, and it was obvious he was going to win. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, well, if he's going to retain the belt anyway, then I guess he doesn't need to close the show.
I mean, but he's been going against some people that you would just think like, these guys that he's fighting, I would not be mad if they got the belt.
I mean, I would honestly,
SmackDown has that talent pool.
I mean, I would honestly like to see him go into a program with Orton. Because of Orton, I mean, I think they're gonna feed Daniel Bryan to Randy Orton, but I mean, I would like Styles to.
Yeah, especially since Orton is trying to, take down all the heroes. Mm-hmm. Like Bryan and AJ would be like the next bet.
The next two on the list. What came after that?
The AJ and Joe.
Yeah,
I believe it was the Bellas and the Rousey.
And with that, because I see where they're going. I mean, everybody's heard the rumors that she's going to fight Nikki at Evolution, but I saw what they were trying to do
in the very beginning, right?
Yeah, when they had them not so much them arguing over who was going to start the fight. Mm-hmm. The fact that her and Brie wouldn't tag her. Yeah. I thought they were going to make something more out of the fact that they just wouldn't tag her, and like they wouldn't tag her into the match.
True, but just like Corey said, even in this six-man tag, it would only be natural that Nikki and Brie would gravitate towards each other to reach for tags, because they know each other longer.
Yeah, they've teamed longer.
So, like, the fact that Ronda was begging, like, every time, like, give me the...
No, but it did come across like they were doing it on purpose. It was funny after Brie gave Liv the concussion when Liv Morgan.
Yeah, there was a lot of times where I'm just like.
when Liv gave Brie the Shining Wizard, she was like, "How does it feel now, bitch?" And I was just like, well, kudos to them for addressing it.
Yeah, because Michael Cole, he didn't drag it out, but he made like a quick reference, like, like Brie kicked her in the face. I was just like, okay, so he mentioned it, but then he just left it alone. I was
It's like, but I don't care so much about the commentators, but when something happens to the wrestlers, like the wrestlers should, like Liv should have, she should have said that, instead of pretending like the whole concussion thing never happened. Now I did like the double, like the armbar at the end.
Yeah,
the double armbar was pretty impressive.
I mean, granted, she pulled another, like a scene out of a movie where she judo flipped them both. Yeah, I was like,
that was pretty cool. But she didn't defend the title. I mean, everybody knew her and the Bellas were gonna win. That was the problem. That was the problem with the Raw fights. Like because nobody on Raw defended their title. the whole show, the whole Raw part of the show was just extremely predictable.
Yeah, which is why I don't know. Yeah, which is also why that, you know, doesn't make sense why they had to force those towards the end.
The Daniel Bryan mismatch.
Yeah, that was a shocker. Like,
but you should have known something was up because they were letting the Miz like get his stuff on, like they were letting the Miz like hit him at it. And I was watching, I was like, yo, this guy's really doing his thing right now.
Yeah, usually when someone gets off like big moves early, it's usually signs of this shit's gonna end quick.
And he was doing his moves and Daniel Bryan's moves. The crowd reacted when
the thing was so surprisingly when Bryan got the win. Not even the music cued on time.
Yeah,
it's like everything was just quiet for a brief moment. Like, did the ref fuck up? Be like, no, wait, he didn't fuck up. Oh shit, he won.
Yeah, the music. It was almost like when Brock Lesnar beat the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Like it was just like dead silence, and then it took.
Bryan never had that moment where like he's whooped someone quick,
and it took a hot minute before the announcer didn't say anything at first, and like you said, the music didn't play.
Yeah, and they even played the replays. And I'm expecting like some shenanigans because they played the replay twice. Like, oh, no, I mean, because even Corey Graves was trying to be like, no, let's see the replay. Bryan probably pulled something and be like, no, that was a legit small package. He crossed his legs and everything. There isn't too much that you could do to cheat a small package.
Nah. When you see matches end that way, like it reminds me of like the problem I always had with the Survivor Series, where you'll have two competitors, they're going back and forth, and in a regular one-on-one match, it takes them like 35-40 minutes for somebody gets a pinfall. But then when they wrestle in the Survivor Series, everybody gets beat in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, so if they're trying to tell us that it's possible for people and it is like this is wrestling.
Yeah.
Realistically, somebody can get beat really quick. So it was actually nice.
It never happened.
Yeah, but it was nice to see that happen for a change. Like
which is why I never complained about it. It was just a shock value that it went that way.
Yeah.
I mean, because in so many matches, you know, like wrestlers is, as you said, they would go for like the pins like mad early. You know what I mean? And then they would obviously kick out because it just wasn't enough. But to get away with like a small package, it is like Miz basically got Baron Corbin.
And for Miz to talk all that trash that he was talking, for him to lose that way.
Yeah, a part of me felt like I was expecting Bryan to take Miz up on his offer and, you know, cheat the win. So when he got off with a small package, I'm looking for like, did Bryan post some sneaky shit? Like, no, he being legit. I guess Miz can't even use that against him.
No, but that's what makes it good. Like out of everything that the Miz has done, all the cheating, all the lying, all the trash talking, he actually can't say anything. You know, it's like, bro, you got beat. You just gotta let that one go. I ain't like how they did my man Cedric Alexander, but
the age of Alexander was over.
Nah, but the thing is,
when he kicked out of the lumbar check, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, because
that move has taken down everybody.
I was like, the black man's run has come to an end. But the thing is, all Buddy had going for him was just the crowd support. I mean, Buddy's a good competitor, and
he's from the actual city in Australia.
Yeah, but
the Iconics are just from Australia.
Yeah,
they never mentioned that they're from
they're not from the town. But Alexander clearly was the standout of that whole fight.
But you could see it in his face, because I did like that bit of storytelling where the Alexander took down all comers and nothing seemed to stop them. But the moment that he got the Melbourne, before even Melbourne, he made it clear to Buddy that even being at your hometown, you ain't gonna beat me. But during the fight, there was signs of the crowd chanting, Buddy.
Yeah. And then he looked over at him.
And Alexander was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like that actually legata.
He had a good run. I mean, you can't. It sucks for him to lose to Buddy Murphy in Australia, but
yeah, when he won it, the fact that he had the belt since Mania, a part of me felt like, well, shit, he had it for this long. They might as well just give him the full year.
Yeah. He's the longest reigning cruiserweight champion of all time? Is he the longest? Or does Neville still have the record?
It might be Neville.
Because either he's got the record or he's a close second. If he gets his rematch on 205 Live, he ain't getting the belt back.
Well, to be honest, they haven't been putting 205 Live in any of the pay-per-views like that. Maybe the Big Four. but not like the smaller ones because they tried to give them a showcase on Raw, but they've been having their fights on the after SmackDown, but they've been like more of like their own thing.
What else? Well, then there's the Shield match because every damn belt every belt on Raw was in that match. And not even that. I mean, it was good. Like the Ambrose tease, and then Reigns had to save it by taking one for the team and putting Strowman through the barricade.
Yeah, the usual Braun and Roman antics.
Yeah, like there was really nothing special about because again, like I said, the biggest problem I have with the Raw side of the pay-per-view was this like, was any outcome really a surprise? And I was like, yeah, we knew the Shield was gonna win. You know, we knew Ronda was gonna win. You know, we knew John Cena and Bobby Lashley weren't gonna lose. You know, especially you don't bring John Cena out of retirement and then have out of China and then have him lose. You know.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be surprised if he did lose because he hasn't been seen fighting.
Yeah,
like that.
all the surprises from the show came from SmackDown. Mm-hmm. You know. Like Becky cheating to win. The only match on SmackDown that was actually predictable was the New Day match. But everything else was just like, SmackDown to me has always been a better show. You know, the Triple H Undertaker match, it was, I mean, to me, I viewed that as like a SmackDown.
Nostalgia.
I mean, not really. I mean, I viewed that as a SmackDown versus Raw fight because Triple H was always a Raw guy and Undertaker was always a SmackDown guy.
Except that time that Triple H got traded to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Which now,
Taker had a couple of Raw fights, but they never. But he's
Kane was kind of pointless in that whole thing because Shawn Michaels got involved way too many times, and I'm looking like Kane hasn't done nothing to slow this motherfucker down.
Well, that's the thing. When JoJo said this match will now be no disqualification, Undertaker looked at him and was like, "You cheating son of a bitch," you know, because you knew what it was, and then like you said, like Shawn Michaels just kept jumping in and jumping in and jumping. So like the thing about it is. When they won when Triple H won the match, because Shawn Michaels
respect and shake my hand, be like, bitch, blast me with a sledgehammer.
But that was the thing,
and then he stomped his neck out.
But that's what was funny to me because when Taker was like sitting up against the ropes and Triple H had the nerve to extend his hand and
like the beef is over.
Yeah, it's like yo, bro, you straight up you basically beat me 2-on-1. You know, and then he's like, I'm supposed to hug. That's why the whole time I was like, please choke slam him. Please choke slam. And then it's like, oh, let's raise our hands to the crowd. I'm like, bro, you cheated.
It's like, this is truly an end of the era now. Be like, no.
I'm like, yeah, now that you cheated your ass. And then even for Michael Cole to be like, what did Michael Cole say? He said that in 16 years, Triple H has never beaten The Undertaker. That was actually I
was really trying to think like
he did say that, right?
Yeah,
that wasn't true because they had a match at Elimination Chamber where Triple H beat Taker in the Elimination Chamber for the title. It was a championship title match at Elimination Chamber. It came down to Taker and Triple H, and Triple H beat him. So I'm like that's why Michael Cole's a fucking moron and he needs to be removed from commentary. Like, how do you forget that? Like, it was an Elimination Chamber title match. But I also heard that they were gonna do a match with like DX versus the Brothers of Destruction at so that was the setup for that. But like I said, but even that, like honestly, it was. Was
that for Survivor Series or the
Crown Jewel? The fan was for the Family Jewels, but no, but that was the thing. Like even the like, I mean, it's always nice to see Taker, but I don't want to see Taker fighting Triple H. Like it was just one of those things. Like,
well, Shawn Michaels ain't gonna fight nobody current, so
it was just one of those moments where it was just like, okay, I don't care about the two of you anymore. Like I don't want to see the two. Like I honestly I skipped that match all the way to the end because like I just flat out don't care. You know, I want to see Taker fight Sting. Like I want
nostalgia, man.
Yeah, I want to see Taker versus Sting. You know, Taker doesn't have that. I saw
Taker
doesn't have that much left in the tank, and Triple H is wasting it all on him, and like nobody cares about it. Like just give me Triple H, give me Sting versus Undertaker before both of them can't wrestle anymore.
Well, Sting can't wrestle no more because what Seth Rollins did.
Oh, he's fine now.
Well,
they're giving him.
He probably is. I wish I would have asked him though, because you know when I went to Comic-Con, they was like I took pictures of, not with them and me, but you know, from a distance. I took pictures of.
Sting was there?
Yeah, well,
wow.
The Godfather was there, Sting was there, but the Godfather had a table by himself. Sting had a table with himself in full like makeup and a red jacket. Trish was there. Lita.
Trish was at Comic-Con?
Yeah, Trish and Lita was there, and who else was there? I didn't see them, but Christian and I think Jerry Lawler was supposed to be there.
Jerry Lawler always goes to those things. Trish Stratus was at Comic-Con?
Yeah, she was wearing glasses and everything. Like, she was like just right there in front of me. I was like, oh shit, Stratus. Look good for a 60-year-old now.
No, that's a surprise.
He's like, oh, Stratus faction, right next to Stinger.
I'm sorry I missed that. That would have that's pretty damn interesting. Alright, so that was our review for WWE Super Showdown. I will definitely do one for the All Women's Evolution pay-per-view and maybe the King of Saudi Arabia show. Thanks for listening, and until next time, as always, I'm out this bitch.